Alright, so I have another message for you guys that I wasn't going to share, but then somebody guided me to share, so I'm just going to share. And this is going to be a method that I intuitively got to clear out your astrological houses from any residue that's going on there, any type of entity attachments, and like spell work, stuff like that. And so what spirit guided me to how to do this is I asked God, what is he doing? And he said he's burning down the house because there's not enough money in the entire universe to enact justice here. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what house? And then, like, the next day, like, I thought I was talking about, like, an actual house. And I was, like, kind of scared. I was like, okay, what's going on here? And it's crazy because, like, 3 years ago, when I started my major spiritual awakening, I got that message as well, but I didn't understand it, and I was like taking it a little too personally, I guess, and like there, I don't know, trauma and stuff was like clouding my judgment and heartbreak and all of that. So I didn't understand it, but now, like, I think I understand it. Okay, so basically what you want to do is write down each of the, cut up 12 pieces of paper, little pieces of paper. Don't mind my nails, I was like peeling my I have to repaint my fingernails. Cut up 12 pieces of paper, right? And then you want to, if you have astro dice, that would be ideal. You can also just use a regular dice. If you have a couple regular dice, you can assign each, like 1 through 6 for one dice. And then, like, use a Sharpie marker to mark the other, or just use the other dice to represent 7 through 12, okay? And, or, like, you could use whatever, just figure out, like, you can even just write it on paper and then just throw them in the air, like, which ones do you want me to, activate more? So, this is gonna, like, really probably turn some people off, but, while I was trying to figure this all out, I got, like, really itchy on my arm, because I've been breaking out in, like, hives like crazy lately on my arms. I don't know what that's about, but anyway, it started bleeding, like, and it was on my right arm, which is, if you've watched my other videos, I've gone in detail about this before, about how, like, with the whole Medusa thing, the left side of the body's blood is the death-giving side, and then the right side is the life-giving side. So anyway, it was my right side, and then I was thinking, like, oh, is this something about, like, it's something about, like, giving life to certain houses. So then I rolled the dice. I asked God, or spirit, whatever you want to call higher power, okay, how many houses they wanted me to put, like, a drop of that on there, okay? I hope you are so turned off by that. A lot of people are, but witches out there, definitely not. That's, like, nothing to them. Okay. But this message is, like, for everybody. Like, really, you know, this could help you, is what I'm being told and stuff. So, and I mean, I did it, like, with the collective in mind, but, like, I feel like people need to do it individually as well. It could really be super helpful. So you ask, like, okay, how many houses? You roll the dice. We got the number 9. So that would mean that there is 9 houses that, that spirit wants you to put your life blood into, okay? And when I did it for the collective, it was only 4 houses. It was, do you want me to say that? Yes, okay. It was, the 5th house, the 6th house, the, 10th house, and the 12th house, okay? So, anyway, so after that, it said, to get like a copper vessel would be ideal, but I don't have one, so I just used my broken chalice, and I used tweezers, and you just take the paper, and you start burning all of them, okay? And you wait until it burns down, and you release all of your intentions with it, and you give it up to source consciousness to basically do thy divine will here. Like, you're doing for God. You're doing God's work, okay? That's the whole intention here. Because, like, human understanding can be extremely limited, unless you're, like, mega OP, like, from freaking Dragon Ball Z, Super Saiyan, or whatever. If you're, like, a Super Saiyan, then sure, like, you can have whatever. It's just better to do it this way, in my humble opinion of my knowledge that I've gained so far. Okay, so you leave it up to God to decide, what it is that's being sorted out in this process of burning and clearing and activating, okay, these houses. So the next thing I asked was like, okay, do you want me to do this for like the planets as well? Do you want me to do this for the sun signs? The sun signs, they said no. And then the planets, they said yes, and all of them except for one, and this is not including the sun and the moon. We did not include the sun and the moon in this. And so from my understanding, like, the sun and the moon really can't be, like, they're good, okay? And then, so anyway, so the only planet that was not, do you want me to say this part? About the hidden enemies, it's saying no, okay. Yeah, no, I can't say that part. It's fine. So, so you can do this for yourself, which, planets you need to clear out, okay? And, so, like, with the houses, I did all 12, right? But, like, with the planets, I was instructed not to do one, period. Like, do not touch it. So, and I didn't do the blood thing because I stopped bleeding and I couldn't bleed anymore. So that was my sign. Like, when you're ever doing magic, if you get cut randomly or like just start bleeding randomly, pay attention which side of your body it's on, and that spirit trying to tell you like you need to do something regarding that. Like, it's important. Okay, it's either gonna be like the death-giving side or the life-giving side. I know, the death-giving side, that's something I'm typically very against, but if it's God's will, it's God's will, okay? And so, anyway, and then, what else? Oh, and then, like, if it stops, like, bleeding, that's it. You're done. Like, it's done, okay? Yeah, okay. And then I know it's gonna be like a lot of people are gonna be like, you're so weird or whatever, because I have like people that are not into witchcraft like watching me, which I would really prefer you to not be watching me, honestly, if like you're gonna be judgmental and all that. So like if you're someone that I know from like the Muggle world or whatever, like please scroll on, like just stop, okay? Thank you. But you could learn a thing or two, so, but I'd really appreciate it if you just mind your business. Okay, so yeah, that's the message that I have for you guys. Oh, and then, yeah, so, and the same thing, like, with the dice, like, you just have to ask, like, okay, which one, and then I also ask, like, anything else, like, do you need me to do anything else, and then, like, if you get an I do, if it's an odd number, specifically 1 is the most prominent, yes. And then if it's an even number, whatever the highest number is on the dice that you're using, that's a no. And then the center number is going to be like a wavering, okay? And then lately I've been kind of thinking like 4 is like it's like hidden, like you're not really supposed to know the answer. Or it's something that like you need to really just decide on your own, like you have the power, like God's giving it to you to just 100% decide on your own. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. That's the message I have for you guys. Also, so at the end with the ashes, I would say go by your intuition or whatever, but I buried the ashes in dirt. Okay. You can put them in water, dump them in water. You can typically or preferably like outside water, not like that's gonna go in the sewage. Or I guess you could. I don't know. Do what feels right for you, depending on your experience with this whole thing. And then you can also like throw it outside into the wind, for the air element. But yeah, okay. That's my message for you guys. I hope this helped, and I will continue doing card readings soon. It's just like a day of ritual and magic and stuff. So anyways, I'll catch you in the next one.